The president's face went from red to white, finally turning dark. In the end, he surrendered.
Just pick one and get out.
Having said that, the president sat down dejectedly. His members all rushed towards him.
President, get a hold of yourself.
Are you alright? The president's head drooped like a puppet whose strings were broken. Seeing such a broken figure, even as Haruhi's companion, I couldn't help but shed a tear of sadness for him.
Which one is the latest model?
You're such a cold-blooded girl!
Why should we tell you?
The angry members continued their meager resistance, but Haruhi simply pointed at me and my camera.
Damn it! It's that one!
Haruhi looked in the direction the president pointed and inspected the model and serial number of the computer. Then she took out a piece of paper from her skirt pocket.
I went to the electronics store and asked them for a list of the latest models. This doesn't seem to be one of them.
This girl has everything so meticulously planned that it's becoming scary. After inspecting all the computers, Haruhi pointed to one of them.
I want this one.
Wait, we just bought that last month.
Camera.
Take it, you thieves.
Like he said, we were truly thieves. Haruhi's greed knew no bounds. After plucking all the wires and cables, she moved all the necessary equipment back to the literature club room without consideration. She then had the computer club people reinstall the wires for us, and had them lay 2 Ethernet cables from their room to ours, so we could use the internet. She even forced them to set up an intranet for us. Her despicable ways were no different from a robber. Asahina-senpai? Being helpless the whole time, I could only slowly pick up a devastated Asahina, who was kneeling on the floor covering her face and sobbing endlessly. Let's go back. Haruhi, you idiot! Can't you grope your own breasts? For someone who undresses in front of guys without a second thought, this is nothing! I comforted Asahina while wondering about what on earth Haruhi needed a computer for. Very soon I would find out, and that is to make an SOS Brigade website. Alright, here comes the question, who should make this website?
You, of course. Since you're so free, you might as well do it. I'm busy looking for the remaining members.
The computer was placed on the desk with the brigade commander pyramid. While surfing the net with her mouse, she said,
Have it completed in the next day or two. We won't be able to do anything without a web page.
Asahina's body lay over the desk, her shoulders quivering next to where Nagato sat, who, as usual, was reading her book, ignoring everything. Seems like I'm the only one who heard what Haruhi was saying. I had no choice but to comply with her. At least, I'm pretty sure that's what Haruhi thought. I can't do anything even if you say that. To be honest, that's what I wanted to say. I'm not used to taking orders from Haruhi. The only reason I agreed was because it's a web page. I haven't done it before, but it did sound interesting. And so, my arduous web page design began on the second day. Having said that, it was much easier than I thought, because the guys from the computer club already had all the software installed on the hard drive. All I needed to do was just follow the program and do some copy and pasting, and that was it. The problem is, what should I put on the website? I still didn't know what the SOS Brigade was about, so I had absolutely nothing to write about. After writing "Welcome to the SOS Brigade" homepage on the top, I simply stopped.
Hurry up and finish it, you hear?
Haruhi's words sounded like a curse ringing through my ears, so I had to use my lunchtime to continue my designing while eating my lunch. Nagato-san, do you have any ideas on what to write?
Not really.
She didn't look up. I know this is none of my business, but I'm curious as to whether she even pays attention in class. Turning my eyes from Nagato back to the 17-inch monitor, I fell into deep thought again. I suddenly thought of a problem. What would happen if the school found out that a yet-to-be-recognized association is using their bandwidth to host a website? I could imagine Haruhi's reply.
It's alright as long as they don't find out. If it does get discovered, then we'll just abandon the website. This sort of stuff is first come, first served, you know?
Really, in some ways I'm rather envious of Haruhi's optimistic and forward-looking attitude. After making some website links and writing the email address, it's a bit early to set up a forum. I uploaded the website, which only contained a front page without any details on it. That should do. After making sure the web page could load, I switched off the computer. As I was about to stretch myself, I was startled to find Nagato standing right behind me. That's strange, how come I didn't hear her making any footsteps? I didn't know when Nagato arrived behind me. Her face was as white as a mask. She stared at me with her poker face as though I was some eye test chart.
Take this.
She handed me a very thick book, which I impulsively took. It sure is heavy. Looking at the cover, it was the science fiction novel Nagato was reading a few days ago.
For you.
After saying that, Nagato left the room without even turning back. I didn't even have time to say anything. Why are you lending me such a thick book? At this moment, the bell rang, signaling the end of lunch break. Seems like there aren't a lot of people who respect my opinion around here. After I carried my hard-covered book back to my classroom and sat down, I felt someone poking my back with a mechanical pencil.
So, is the website done?
Haruhi held the edges of the desk and stared at me with a stiff face. I noticed that her notebook was full of scribbles here and there. I tried to ignore the stares of my classmates and replied, "It's done alright, but it's a very simple, crappy website."
That'll do as long as it just has an email address.
Why can't you just register your own free email address?
That won't do. What if a lot of people sent their email in and flooded my inbox?
I don't understand how a newly registered email address can get flooded with mail so quickly.
That's a secret.
After saying that, she gave me a mysteriously sinister smile. I have a bad feeling about this.
You'll know once school has ended today, but until then, it's highly classified.
Please, I'd rather you never tell me what it is. In 6th period, Haruhi was nowhere to be seen in class. She couldn't have gone home, could she? That wouldn't be possible. It's probably another bad omen. Very soon, it was the end of class, and I automatically walked towards the club room. Though I wondered why I did so, my footsteps never stopped. Finally, I arrived at the club room. Hello there. As expected, there sat Nagato, Yuki, and Asahina. I know I'm not one to criticize, but these two sure have a lot of time on their hands. Seeing me enter, Asahina greeted me with a relieved expression. Seems like having to spend time alone with Nagato can be exhausting. Wait a moment, you just suffered from Haruhi's evil clutches yesterday, and you're still coming today?
Where's Suzumiya-san?
No idea. She hasn't been in class since 6th period. She's probably off to nick equipment from somewhere.
Do I have to do what Suzumiya-san had me do yesterday again?
Seeing how depressed Asahina looked, I gently said, "Don't worry. If she tries to do anything strange to you again, I'll do everything I can to stop her. She can use her own body for blackmail. It's not like I can't beat her when it comes to scuffles."
Thank you.
Seeing her bow at me cutely, I really felt like embracing her tightly. But of course, I didn't do that.
Then I'm counting on you.
No problem at all! Even though I repeatedly assured her, 5 minutes later, all those reassurances got thrown out the window into the sea and evaporated like a water droplet on the surface of the sun. Oh, how naive I was.
Hiya!
Haruhi greeted us energetically and entered the room carrying with her 2 paper bags.
Sorry guys, I was delayed.
That sure is kind of you. For someone as obsessive as Haruhi, to be considerate of others is probably the last thing on her mind. Placing the paper bags on the ground, Haruhi turned and locked the door. Asahina automatically shuddered upon hearing the door click. Suzumiya, what are you planning today? I'll be frank, I'm not going to do anything like plundering or blackmail again.
What are you talking about? I'd never do such a thing.
Really? Then how do you explain that computer on your desk?
By peaceful means, of course. Okay, first things first. Let's have a look at this.
She pulled out a bunch of printer paper with some handwriting on it from one of her bags.
These are flyers made to introduce the SOS Brigade to everyone. It took me a lot of hard work to sneak into the photocopying room and print 200 of these flyers.
Haruhi handed out the flyers to us. So that's why you skipped class, huh? You should count yourself lucky that you weren't caught. I wasn't interested in what was written on the flyer, but since I had already taken one, I might as well read what it had to say. The SOS Brigade Founding Principle. We, the SOS
Brigade, are seeking all sorts of paranormal events in this world. We welcome anyone who has experienced, is experiencing, or senses that they will experience any kind of supernatural or mysterious events to come to us for consultation. We will do our best to answer your questions. Please note, however, that we do not handle normal paranormal events. It must be a paranormal event that we deem to be very shocking.
I'm starting to get a faint idea of what the SOS Brigade is all about now. It seems that, no matter what, Haruhi wanted to indulge herself in the world of science fiction, mystery, and fantasy novels.
Alright, time to hand out the flyers.
Where do we do that?
At the school entrance. Right now there's not a lot of students who have gone home yet.
Yes, whatever you say, ma'am. Just as I was about to pick up the paper bag with the flyers, Haruhi stopped me.
You don't have to go, just me and Mikuru-chan will do.
What?
Asahina, who was carrying a flyer in her hands, turned her head looking puzzled. I turned and saw Haruhi fumbling through the other paper bag, taking something out.
Ta-da!
Smiling as happily as a robotic cat, Haruhi pulled out a piece of black garment. No, it can't be. As Haruhi finished emptying the contents of the paper bag from the fourth dimension, I understood at once why she wanted Asahina to hand out the flyers, and I prayed for her well-being. Asahina, may your soul rest in peace. A black leotard, net stockings, bunny ears, bow tie, white cuffs, and a bunny tail. Isn't that a bunny girl costume?
What are those for?
You should know to dress up as a bunny girl.
You wouldn't want me to wear that, would you?
Of course, I even prepared one for you.
I'm not wearing that.
Don't worry, the size will fit you perfectly.
But that's not the problem. You wouldn't want me to wear that at the school entrance, would you?
Why, of course.
No, I don't wanna.
Stop complaining.
This is it. She's been targeted. Haruhi leapt onto Asahina like a mother lion preying upon a helpless deer and began tearing off her sailor uniform.
No!
Now be a good girl and don't move.
Haruhi said this while swiftly pulling off Asahina's top. Then she moved on to Asahina's skirt. Just as I was about to stop Haruhi's insanity, my eyes met Asahina's.
Oh, look!
Hearing her scream, I hurriedly ran towards the door. Damn it, the door's locked. It took a while before I could unlock the door and rush out of the room. Before I left, I took one quick peek. I discovered Nagato reading her book as if nothing had happened. Doesn't she have anything to say about this? I leaned back on the door, hearing Asahina's screams from behind it.
No! At least let me take them off myself.
These are mixed with Haruhi's yells of victory.
That's great. Take it off quickly. You should have done what I said.
Damn it, don't ask me to fantasize what's going on inside. A moment later, Haruhi's voice came through the door.
You can come in now.